Hey guys, have you ever thought of a device that promises to redefine our relationship with technology but without being attached to screens? We're talking about an accessory that you simply clip to your clothes and you suddenly have a voice and gesture controlled personal assistant ready to make your everyday life more convenient and connected. But does this innovation really deliver what it promises, or is it just a fancy gadget with an extra layer of marketing? And furthermore, how does this device perform in real life outside the spotlight of a control demonstration? Stay with me and let's uncover these issues together. But before we continue, remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video to stay up to date. Your likes and subscriptions contribute to the growth of the project, and the more the project grows, the more interesting videos I can bring to you, deal? Thanks for the support. Let's continue. You know, I had my doubts about the Humane AI Pin. With a lot of people out there, I thought that this assistant we use as a brooch filled with artificial intelligence technology could just be another app on the market. But look here, studying it further and watching the reviews of people who tested it, I admit that I was surprised. It's an interesting device, the problem being that with the substantial hype, it's tough to understand its genuine worth if Humane didn't take everything so seriously. For those who enjoy technology updates and follow technology forums or something of the sort, maybe you are already aware of what this pin does. You attach it to your clothes, talk to the device, and it responds using artificial intelligence. It operates independently, even has its own SIM card, and doesn't require any screen. It vibrates and uses a small laser to display menus and messages directly on your hand, making it easy to interact with simple things like a Wi-Fi host or commands to play music and videos. From what I saw during the demonstrations from the Humane employees, the big idea is keeping you connected without being glued to your phone. It's more about enjoying the moment rather than being hooked on screens. Artificial intelligence comes in to lend a helping hand by pulling information from your phone and answering questions about anything that sparks your curiosity. Let's face it, in spite of all the excitement, at the end of the day we are talking about an electronic device. These gadgets can be very fun, super useful, and sometimes even a little annoying, and it seems the Humane Pin fits nicely into all of these categories. At times, the iPin really surprised me. It has a function where, when asked, it uses the phone's camera to see what is in front of it, analyzes it, and tells you exactly what it saw. I saw in the demonstrations a human representative testing this function, and boy did he nail it. He was able to describe the entire Mobile World Congress. He put it this way: it's an internal event or a gathering with people milling about, but he didn't stop there. He spotted a Qualcomm sign behind a reporter, was able to read the badge, and stated, "It's a person wearing a badge, apparently a journalist." It was an additional detail, quite impressive for a device from a service. Gesture navigation took me by surprise. As tech influencers have said, it's smoother and more intuitive than I anticipated. Speaking of laser projection, my concern is how the user is going to pinpoint the right spot for the laser to project onto their hand, given that it's designed for individual use. I watched some Humane employees using the product, and they, who were well practiced, navigated through the projected menus with astounding ease, just by moving their hands and tapping their fingers. However, the gadget does not dodge the typical characteristic of electronic devices. It can sometimes get on your nerves. Most of the artificial intelligence operates externally from the device, so there's always that slight delay until you receive the responses to your queries or requests. And it gets even worse with an unstable connection, depending on where the user is using the device. There was even one time when it turned itself off, warning that it had overheated and needed to cool down. The employee who was showcasing the brooch said that this is not usual, and it was probably due to the intense use of the laser during the demonstration. I do believe it, but it's a device that should be kept close to your chest and accompany you in different places, even the hottest ones. So this is certainly a point against it. The laser projection is much sharper than I imagined, but in the end, it's just a light projected on your hand. Hands aren't perfectly flat, and keeping them completely steady is challenging. The text ends up kind of wobbling in front of you, and while it's not hard to read, it's trickier than reading something on a smartphone, for example. It's hard to understand what it would be like to use this device day in, day out, just from seeing it at a convention center, where it was being used in a controlled environment by a trained employee. I wonder whether a regular shirt could withstand its usage. And can you even see the laser projection under the bright sunshine outside? And when the device's light turns on, will people understand, or will they think their privacy is being violated? Comment below what you think about these issues. My first impression of the pin is that there's something interesting there, but it doesn't quite seem to hit the mark yet. Humane states that the Humane is not meant to replace a cell phone, but it does have its own internet connection, charges a monthly fee, and is priced like a high-end smartphone, costing about $690. So it's not meant to be a cell phone substitute. What I do know is that the future of mobile computing, at least from what I've seen so far, might not be exactly this pin. I'm looking forward to seeing the tests when it officially launches in April. For now, what I've seen is a really cool device, just that it might not be worth taking too seriously yet. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comments. I'd love to discuss the video's topics. If you like the video, like, share, and subscribe. There are next video suggestions appearing up here now. It makes total sense for you to watch them. See you in the next video. Until then.